Hello, welcome back. Welcome to the channel. That's a new cut there. Hands are pretty beat up. Oh, this isn't even. That's what I discuss in my other channel by my rats. I always go over how beat up my hands are because my hands are always bleeding from making the rats. But the truth is, my hands are always bleeding from every kind of sculpting. Painting. I wanted to just in the beginning of this video just show you guys the foil that I've been using, and just give a quick recommendation for anyone who is sculpting. I would recommend you get the foil sheets instead of the rolls, because that way you can keep track of, if you're using one sheet, you'll know, okay, this is going to be about this size, this sculpture. If you're using two sheets, you can kind of estimate. Like, let's see, like this is like a bunch of sheets. This is like 4 sheets. This is probably 2 sheets. This one's probably 3 sheets. That's a 1 sheet. So like you can kind of estimate your sizes that way. Let me see, make sure I'm zoomed in and focus on this here. So you can kind of estimate what you're working with all the way down the line here. Let me just kind of, and I know this isn't really probably necessary. I think a lot of people probably aren't here for this, but I am just going to really quickly show you what I'm talking about so you have an idea. So what we're looking at is like a bunch of sheets, probably like 5 or 6. I would say this one's probably 4 or 5. This one's 3, this one's 2, this one might actually be 3. No, that one I think is 2, that one's 1, this one's also 2. So going down the line you see, anyway, yeah, I would recommend using the foil sheets, and just so you can keep track of your sizings. That's it. Sorry to interrupt the video like that, or to delay the video like that, but I did think that that was something useful, and anyone who's not already experienced with the crafting side of it, it is confusing, and it is tough to, you know, figure out without any, you know, without doing a ton of research. Okay, so today I'm gonna do just kind of I always do the same thing basically on this channel. I'm making a sculpture. I'm just trying to see how creative I can get with it, but you know, as long as I get something at the end of the day, I'll be happy. And again, to go with that theme of giving a little bit of info, this is just original Sculpey oven bake, but I also do use the bake shop quite a bit. I have one of my rats sitting right in front of me. These are a couple of my rats from my By My Rats channel. You can see me make this cigarette right here. Cigarette rat is made of the bake shop clay, and I do think it is does form much smoother than this clay. Anyway, that's enough bullshit, and shouldn't have cursed. I'm sorry about that. That is enough chit-chatting. So I'm just going to kind of roll a ball here, which this seems to be my new technique, and it does seem to be working out for me. So I got the ball. I'm going to get a couple cheeks going. We're going to give this thing some oversized cheeks. Haven't done that really like in a while, I feel like. So we'll just, and I kind of want these to be kind of a like this, like a jaw, like I'm making a jawline almost. We'll get that cheek on there very loosely, and I think it's actually going to be too Might actually be way too big, but what we'll do is just kind of mold it. That's kind of what I'm looking for there. And I did find that you can kind of still ball the clay up when you, oh, never mind, I think I lost my shape there. That's one of the cheeks. Where's the other? That's the thing with this, is once you kind of lose your shape, tell you what, we'll just restart it. Because I do like to keep the smoothness, you know, but a lot of times it seems to elude me. Is that the word? Elude. So we'll go a little bit smaller here. Oh no, let me get my tools. So you could tell I'm really trying hard here on this channel. I don't even have my tools out. So you know, this isn't a professional outfit here. There's no editing going on in the videos. I did try to do the editing thing, 2 cameras. It looked okay. I mean, I think I definitely talked about this in one video. I just don't remember if it was in my rats videos or on this page. But the camera that I'm using now is a Canon C100, the one you're seeing on the overhead camera, and it's from like 2012. And my phone is from last year, 2 years ago, is a Pixel, and it's just not like, I bought the Pixel thinking I was getting a camera based phone because it's called a Pixel, and I did research and I thought I was getting some kind of like excellent phone camera, and it just didn't end up being. I don't know if it's I don't think it's my settings, honestly, but anyway, it's not that good of a camera compared to this old overhead camera, so it is what it is. I think I want to bulk this up more, like it's not sitting the way I want. So I'm going to try to kind of form what I'm looking for here without, I don't want to lose too much of my shape. I think I might need to get back into using my tools, because I think that's what's going on with me lately. Is now that I'm thinking about it, I don't really use my tools that much anymore, if at all. Like, I don't want this much shape here. I don't know, this one's not really doing what I want it to, but we'll just keep going. There we go, that's much better. Still not there, but much better for sure. Okay, we got it kind of working its way. There we go. That's some chin, some lines there. Okay, much better. We're getting there now. Push this down, push this in. I kind of just lightly pull your clay. And that's what we're looking for, like kind of like that. I kind of like it like how it is now, a little bit uneven, but I don't want to go fully. There we go. Okay. So we kind of got our basic layout right now. So what you see here is we got the cheek, kind of a ridge line for the eyes and nose. And we'll do now we'll start kind of bulking out the chin and jaw area. Not jaw, just chin area, I guess. I really don't know why I'm unnecessarily exaggerating my description. Okay, so we're basically just putting the chin on here for now. And then I'll kind of lightly blend that up. I did talk quite a bit. I think I over talked about this in the last video. I am like super excited about the kind of characters that I've been making lately. They're kind of like almost like Zelda, and I mentioned this in the video. They're almost reminding me of like some kind of Zelda game, and I don't know what game, but they all do look different enough to me, but still have that kind of unifying characteristic that I can't really describe. Anyway, this one I was a little bit worried about. I am trying to come up with, you know, whenever I get into something, I try to come up with my own style. And I guess I just said it reminded me of Zelda, but I didn't intend for it to do that when it just kind of happened. So you just kind of do what comes out naturally. Anyway, I really am excited for that. Let me just pause this video because the dog is about to probably start going crazy, which he does quite a bit. Oh, maybe not. I think he might have changed his mind. Yeah, don't get ever in your life. Don't get a small dog if you can avoid it. Absolutely, the bottom of the barrel, the worst. Okay, so we got a pretty good layout here. I'm pretty happy with this. Wasn't expecting this one to have like such a large, pronounced chin, but I think it's a good look for this one. So what I'm gonna do now, I guess we'll get the mouth on first. I can't tell if this is a small mouth or a larger mouth character. So let's just put a mouth on there and kind of determine something like that maybe, and that would make it kind of look like an older gentleman to me, but I do tend to make like old people too, and it's just kind of an interesting thing that's been automatically kind of happening. I don't really, like I said, I don't really set out with any real goal in mind. Like, I just kind of make one shape at a time kind of thing. And then they kind of do sometimes just take shape. Like you see this one kind of slowly forming itself in a lot of ways. This is the one part I don't like. I do need to get a better tool for instances like that. Like this tool has a one side is like has a seam. Both sides have a seam, and I'm doing the thing again where I'm too far from the camera. Sorry, but both sides of this tool have a seam, so you kind of end up with, when you're working with it, a little bit of a line there. I don't know if I like that. I kind of do like that little line under the mouth, and I kind of think it actually does look pretty good above too. Just kind of define it a little better. Yeah. So I just want to kind of Again, this is something I'm always guilty of. I'm just kind of always trying to keep the clay smooth, which is not really super realistic, I feel like, at times. Okay, so we're going to strengthen this kind of shape. There you go. It's actually really exactly what I was looking for. So you do kind of got like you kind of have like a theme, shape going on here. I think what I'm going to do, I know it's not realistic shape, I think I might give this guy like a light kind of so now I'm just following this ridge that I'm creating here, smoothing it out and pulling it behind the cheek, and then we'll pull the cheek down a little bit. So the difficult part is when you're trying to get them to be similar, they tend to not end up being similar. So sometimes, most times I just don't even I don't even try to have them similar most times, because I don't want to set myself up for kind of liking this. I'm not sure. It does have a decent amount of character, I feel like, to it. But I'm not sure what eye type we're going with. I think we'll go with just kind of the beadier eyes I've been making. I'm going to loosening up the ridge, or tightening up the ridge. And then I think we'll just give this guy a couple beady eyes and possibly just call it a day at that. Let's see. Here's where I get into it, right here, where I start doing the crazy stuff, pulling the ridge down a little bit so it's not so pronounced, and then it's not pronounced enough, so I go back, redefine it, but then I end up overdoing it almost guaranteed. And this is the part of the video, almost every video, where I start having I do realize I do end up having these little kind of meltdowns at some point, almost every video, where I overdo, and it's always the same thing. I slightly overwork something, and it doesn't end up exactly like what I was going for, and then I end up with something that I end up happy with at the end anyway. I think I'm going to very lightly kind of pull under these cheeks and kind of just give it a little bit more of a characteristic look to it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm liking this one. Overall, I think I'm fairly happy with it. I'm going to go very lightly here, kind of pulling everything back. And this is really, if you can see what's plaguing me, I think it's actually a little bit of discoloration in the clay. It's possible I had a little bit of black clay here. It is possible that clay is now picked up some of the other clay and is now kind of just multicolored clay, which is fine. Okay. So we got most of our shapes here. And I think that's looking pretty good for this one here. So what I'm going to do is just, this is, I think, one of the main parts where it really turns into a full-blown, mess. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke two little holes in the, if I can find the right, really more about the angle, I think, for this. So what I'll do is I'll do this one first, and I'll very calmly, and obviously the dog will start going at the exact moment I start to do this part. Let me pause it for a second. Alright, they chilled out. Now it's just about lining this up. Doesn't have to be perfect. And obviously it won't be. No, it won't do. And this is what happens every time. I actually kind of like this one better, I think. I need to. And it's pretty much the same thing every time. It's right when I get to the eyes, it's always something. Always an eye placement thing. I hope I didn't just... Okay. That's a little bit off, but I think I like that actually. I got this shape right here. Like a cap. Probably can't see it. Basically like a little cap I push in there. Lightly grip. Do the same on this side. And I think I'll give this one kind of... It's been a problem I have is I get a little bit out of control at times with the ears, and they end up not looking humanoid at a certain point. Like they end up looking either like goblinish or like this one like already kind of looks like almost like a bear ear. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not going to stress it too much. Like I think this one looks much better, but when you get it, when you blend it in there is that's when you lose it, because you got to get it kind of smoothly blended. Actually, that's pretty good if I can keep that. And I think even that one being a little bit off is kind of more of a charming kind of, it's not horrible, just like the eyes, and eye's not perfect, but it's not. Yeah, I kind of like this one as is, I think. Although, I don't know, because this ear does look a little better to me. Let's just try to keep this ear in place and kind of reshape it. There we go. Yep, that works out. Just gotta remain calm, remain calm. Okay, now I'm just doing kind of a final, I think I just screwed the ear up, kind of a final smooth over. There are a couple spots that I'll just go to the back very carefully, because the back is always the issue for me. And we just want to, I don't know where all this hair is coming from. I don't have any. Okay. Let's kind of pull this all together here. And get this rocking. I'm being very careful to avoid touching the eye area. Don't want to touch the eye area, don't want to touch any of the face area if I can help it. Because I can just kind of go back and work the edges that I screw up here. Now trying to remember to sign my stuff. And just drop that in there. And then we'll just kind of pull this a little bit more. Trying really hard here. This is why people work on armatures, I think. They don't have to deal with this kind of nonsense. Okay, so that's pretty much what we're going with. We got a little spot on the face there, but again, I don't mind. These aren't, these are just all for my personal collection as of right now. I'm not trying to get rid of any of these. Yeah, maybe some of them, but there are a lot that are for the personal collection right now. So this will be part of the personal collection. I think it does kind of fit my current kind of theme I've been working with. I should start doing the bag, closing the bags and everything after, but alright, so I'm going to get this in the oven and I'll come back to you with some final pictures. Thank you for checking in, and thank you for watching. Okay, so this is actually a first here, but I actually forgot the nose on this character. I baked it already. It's burnt. It's still actually hot right now, but I'm just going to go ahead and put a quick nose on here. Here comes the mud again. And since it is still hot, it is kind of both easier to mold and then also just kind of a little messier. Like almost like it's too much here. But you can get that formed up if you just take your time and same method, just kind of keep working it. I'm not going to go too crazy with this just because I actually can't believe I did that. It's, like I said, that might actually be a first for me. It is very difficult to get this off your hands. And basically what I'm trying to do is get it so it's fairly smooth. I think this actually does add a different dimension of texture, it seems like. I really honestly just can't believe that it did that, but I guess it happens. I'm not in love with this texture right here, but I'm not 100% sure that it's the, yeah, no it is, it's the new clay. Okay, that's much better. Okay, I think that's good the way it came out. Kind of leaving a little bit of space on the sides here. Kind of just creating like a ridge on the top for the so you can kind of see the strong line coming down here in the light, or lighting effect. And then I will just, no, I think I was right the first time I shut one of these lights out. Okay, so yeah, whatever. See how it kind of looks a little bit crooked here? And then when you shut this light out, it kind of looks a little bit crooked on the other side. Although I do think it is slightly, yeah, it is very slightly angled the wrong way. There we go. I think that's just about center. Alright, so I'm gonna go bake this. I think I'm just gonna give it like 5 minutes. And we will be back this time with the result photos.